Welcome to Alimentary, the podcast series where you will not only learn about your amazing body, how it works, and of course why food is so important, but also pick up some simple recipes and lifestyle tips and tweaks which will help you to influence your health in a positive way. So this is just going to be a little short episode because I just wanted to tell you a little about a really important mineral, magnesium. Of course, they're all important and we want a variety of vitamins and minerals in our diet. But the symptoms of deficiency of magnesium can be quite common. And, people mightn't automatically link them to a mineral deficiency. So, for example, anger, getting angry very quickly, angina, anxiety, apathy, arrhythmia of the heart, alternating constipation and diarrhea, cold extremities, concentration difficulties, convulsions, food cravings, infertility, insomnia, irritability, kidney stones, restlessness, being startled easily by noise. These are all signs of magnesium deficiency, and of course signs of perhaps an overall unhealthy diet or lifestyle, but that variety of symptoms just tells you really how important magnesium is. So what is it? Magnesium is a naturally occurring mineral and it's found in our blood, our bones, our tissues and our organs. Now, it's involved in at least 300 biochemical reactions in the human body. So very, very busy little mineral, and it plays a key role in maintaining our normal muscle and nerve functions, maintaining a healthy immune system, maintaining our heart rhythm, building strong bones, regulating blood sugar and our metabolism, and it may also help with hypertension, which is high blood pressure. So, of course, no mineral or vitamin works on their own. They all work synergistically. But as you can see, magnesium is one, is a key one. It can be involved in, again, in a range of conditions, like, for example, asthma, fatigue, migraine, nerve problems. Obviously, our B vitamins are very important with our central nervous system as well. Musculoskeletal conditions, osteoporosis, and a range of others as well. So again, the conditions that we might suffer from, magnesium can, making sure that we're not magnesium deficient can certainly help. Like, for example, with asthma. So magnesium deficiency is going to increase histamine production and bronchial spasms, so obviously that's going to make it worse. With fatigue, dozens of enzyme systems are under functioning if we're magnesium deficient. So again, that can contribute to fatigue, as can a range of other things as well, but this is one that we can make sure we're not deficient in. Serotonin balance is magnesium dependent, and deficiency of serotonin can result in migraine headaches and depression. Nerve problems, magnesium can alleviate peripheral nerve disturbances throughout our body, so that results in headaches, muscle contractions, gastrointestinal spasms. Did you ever get a cramp in your calf or your foot or your toe? Sometimes that happens at night, that can often give you a clue that maybe you need to top up your magnesium with your diet if possible, of course. So it's also used in treating the central nervous symptoms of vertigo and confusion. Now, musculoskeletal conditions like fibrositis, fibromyalgia, muscle spasms, again, eye twitches, cramps, chronic neck and back pain, they can be caused by magnesium deficiency. When people are diagnosed with osteoporosis, they're, often given calcium and vitamin D to enhance the calcium absorption. But if we don't have enough magnesium in our diet, or, we're over supplementing with calcium and we don't, we're not, you can get supplements which are CalMag, calcium and magnesium in the right ratio. So too much of the calcium can cause further magnesium deficiency. So that triggers a cascade of events, which actually leads to bone loss, because magnesium is important for our bones and our muscles as well as calcium. So always supplement, with good advice, and really try and get your magnesium in from your food. So, I mean, other things like low levels of magnesium can increase our susceptibility to heart disease, high blood pressure, which we mentioned earlier on, hypertension, kidney stones, cancer, insomnia, PMS, and menstrual cramps. And of course, insomnia can be a trigger or a driver of many, conditions that we might suffer from. So again, really important to make sure that our magnesium is that we're getting enough in our diet. Now, what can affect our absorption of magnesium? Because maybe we think we have enough, that we're getting enough in our diet, and so how come we're still a bit deficient? Caffeine is a big one. So too much caffeine is going to impact and reduce our absorption of magnesium. And of course, that is an issue for a lot of people. Love a lot of coffee during the day, a lot of tea. I would recommend, so one good cup of coffee a day is great. Coffee does have antioxidants. Obviously have it mid-morning, not with a main meal, because it's not only going to affect the absorption of magnesium, but it is going to affect your absorption of your nutrients. So never have it with a main meal. Obviously it's going to keep you awake if you have it after lunchtime, because it has a half-life of 8 hours. So I would always recommend have your coffee mid-morning. And obviously you don't want to have too much of it. And again, monitor your black tea consumption too. There's so many really great herbal teas out there. So just find one that you like. And I'll actually put a link again. I know I did an episode before with Roisin from healthtea.ie. So I'll put a link to that in the show notes again, because they're really worth trying. And, really, you'll certainly find a flavor that you like. Too much calcium and phosphate can reduce magnesium absorption, and iron and manganese can also reduce magnesium absorption. So again, we rarely overdose on any vitamin or mineral from our food. It's generally we're going to, it'll be if we're over supplementing, so always get advice when you're supplementing, and it'll be more efficient and more cost effective that way too. So what food can we get our daily magnesium from? There's a wide range. So I'm sure I'm going to list some now, and I'm sure there'll be some that you can tick off and say, yeah, I could eat that. So we have kelp and dulse, from the sea. We have brown rice, almonds, dried figs, dried as well, apricots, molasses, prawns, avocado, Brazil nuts, parsley, buckwheat, sunflower seeds, green peas, pecan nuts, tofu, and broccoli. So I'm sure that there's at least 6 or 7 of those that will appeal to you, and just make sure that you're eating some of them, a couple of them every day. It'd be easy to pick some of the nuts, some of the veg, and there's sunflower seeds in there too. Buckwheat actually is just one that maybe not a lot of people have tried, but I'll actually talk about that in as maybe our store cupboard staple for this week. So so what I'd say is just make a note of whichever from that list you like. Eat some sources of magnesium every single day, and that as part of your overall healthy lifestyle, of course, that's going to contribute to avoiding some of those health issues that we mentioned. So today's store cupboard staple is buckwheat. And a couple of episodes ago, our store cupboard staple was quinoa. And buckwheat and quinoa are a little similar. They're both gluten-free, for example, which is obviously great for celiacs or for people who are gluten or wheat intolerant. They're both what they call pseudo cereals. So they are technically seeds, but actually they're classified as whole grains. They're both really good sources of protein, because there are very few plant sources of protein which have all 9 essential amino acids, and these are two. We need to consume all 9 essential amino acids every day, because our bodies can't make them. So particularly for vegans, this will be a great addition to their store cupboard, because they don't have to worry about combining their protein sources, to make sure they're getting all 9 essential amino acids. They are a complex carbohydrate, which is really good in terms of managing our blood sugars. Also, great source of fiber, which is of course super for our gut health. We need good fiber in our diet to make sure that we stay regular, and to help feed our good gut bacteria as well. So buckwheat is really versatile. It comes in groat form and also comes as in the form of flakes. You can probably get the groats more commonly in the supermarkets, and then the flakes you'll find in health food shops as well. So buckwheat not only contains your protein, your carbohydrate, your fiber, but also some minerals like potassium, phosphorus, magnesium, and calcium, and iron. And then vitamins, including vitamin B1, B2, B3, B9, B6, and vitamin K as well. So again, really good for the central nervous system, for heart health, for bone health, and for digestion. The protein also actually helps our satiety, so it helps us stay feeling fuller for longer. So again, the protein and fiber combined help to slow down the release of glucose into our blood. So all of that combines to make sure that we don't get cravings, which can lead to us choosing something too sugary, or more caffeine, to satisfy that feeling. So buckwheat is a great option for people with type 2 diabetes, for example, because it does obviously contribute to managing the blood sugar levels. So what can we do with it? Well, you'll find buckwheat flour, which you can use when you're baking or, for making pancakes. I suppose the most common way I use it is I buy it in the groats, and I usually alternate between quinoa and buckwheat for my, salads, which I would make for lunch. Very easy to cook. The groats, I'll start off with, say, a half a cup of buckwheat groats to a cup of water, but then I'm stirring as I go. So sometimes I do need to add a little bit more water, and I just check, once the groats are soft, that it's cooked. Again, same as with the quinoa, I tend to add turmeric, a half a teaspoon of turmeric and some black pepper to it when I'm cooking it. I'm, very conscious that I like to make sure that I've, lots of anti-inflammatory things in my diet. So the turmeric obviously is really good for that. Then once it's cooked, you can eat it warm. You could eat it with your, with a stir fry, for example, or it's lovely with roasted vegetables, just stirred through your roasted veg. Again, most commonly, I tend to use it for my salads, so I will make up either the buckwheat or the quinoa, add in some lovely salad veg and some salad dressing, and then pack it into 2 or 3 containers, and I have it in the fridge then ready to grab my lunch in the morning and go. And the grain, the buckwheat actually really soaks up, some of the moisture from the salad, so it tends to not get soggy, so that makes it really ideal to make in advance. Now you could make, if you get the buckwheat flakes, you could make porridge with it, or you could add it to a topping of a crumble and mix it through with some oats or quinoa flakes, as a crumble topping. And what I'll do is I'll actually add a link to a variety of other recipes, things that you can make with buckwheat as well in the show notes. So hopefully you might try it. As I say, it is versatile, but don't be put off. Sometimes using the flour in pancakes, it can have quite a strong flavor. So don't let that put you off if you're not keen on that. Definitely try. The groats don't have a really strong flavor and are great in with salads. So definitely try and get some buckwheat into your diet in some form or another. And you're definitely your gut health, your heart health, and your blood sugars will thank you. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I just wanted to clarify that the podcast is for informational purposes only and does not substitute professional care from a doctor or trained health professional, nor does it constitute medical advice or services if you're in a position to need either. However, if you find it interesting, you can subscribe to make sure you don't miss future episodes or sign up for my newsletter on lynsharkeynutrition.ie.